The crystal palace of Valorum stood like a shattered star beneath a sky choked with storm clouds, its silver spires cavorting in the gale's relentless fury. Queen Meghan stood in the royal observatory, her crimson gown pooling like spilled wine across the frost-veined marble, her coronet a cold shackle against her trembling brow. The air was thick with the scent of ancient parchment and the bitter sting of betrayal, as if the palaces, see #Celestial Dome, #Mao, #RNED, the monarchy's collapse. Months of relentless scandals, her foreign roots, a forged video of Prince Harry's infidelity, her father's scrying orb expose, Tyler Perry's 86 Chronicles, a doctored audio, the Order's probe, Hermodra Doria's accusation, Jessica Mulrooney's betrayal, and the Starvale's investigation, had pushed Valorum to the brink. Now, a new catastrophe had struck, its venom unmatched. The Celestial Network, Valorum's #Grand Archive akin to Netflix, had severed ties with Meghan's as ever project, a venturi meant to showcase her vision of unity and grace. The news, blazing across the kingdom's scrying orbs, branded her a failure, her reputation #crumbling like ash. Harry, her steadfast ally, stood beside her, but the weight of this loss threatened to fracture their bond. The palace, once a beacon of majesty, now felt like a #RYPT of SC Orne, its crystal corridors alive with the flicker of orbs proclaiming the network's rejection. The Queen's as ever is a hollow dream. Tony HT, Meghan had planned to enter the Starstone's crypt, a desperate bid to restore the relic's power and save Valorum's failing harvests. Her heart, scarred by betrayals, Desara's warnings, Vera's visions, Morgana's rituals, Calitha's ciphers, Serafina's crony #Clares, Thalion's crystals, Elindra's prophecies, Voltha's truths, Zoratha's reliquaries, Lysandra's soul locket, Celine's celestial orb, Vera's verity amulet, Thalira's Skyzinger's crystal, bled under this new wound. The As Ever project, a tapestry of Valorum's culture meant to a #Ival Anglia's chronicles, had been her lifeline to redeem her name. Its failure, coupled with whispers of her strained ties #TH Jessica and Perry, paint #Ed her as a fallen queen. Court's vipers hissed with glee, their eyes glinting with malice, accuse #ing her of hubris. King Charles, already wounded by her dossier, loomed as a silent arbiter, his disapproval a crushing shadow. Meghan's fingers clutched the edge of a star-etched balustrade, her emerald eyes clouded with a tempest of rage and despair. The Celestial Network's rejection cut deeper than any scandal, its scrying orbs mocking a vision of as ever as a shallow jest. She recalled her last meeting with the network's emissaries in the palace's moonlit hall, the air thick with promise, their assurances now hollow. Her as ever venture, mean to weave tales of Valorum's people, had been deemed unworthy after mere days, its light snuffed out before it could show #NE. Whispers of her past, her rift with Jessica over the skyship scandal, Perry's turned back after his chronicles, Doria's accusation of a faked pregnancy, fueled he fire. Who had poisoned the network against her? The Q's tie-on burned as she faced Harry, his auburn hair disheveled, his in eyes shadowed with guilt. "We can't fight the network too," he had said last night, his VO ice breaking under the weight of frost-laden air. "We need answers." But Meghan's heart ached with doubt. A breathless herald burst into the observatory, his cloak dusted with frost, his voice trembling with urgency. "Your Majesty, a message from the Shadow District. A sage from Eldoria awaits at the Night Vale Inn, claiming to know the truth behind the network's betrayal. The guards await your command." The words struck like a spark in the dark. Truth. Could it redeem her or seal her doom? Meghan's heart surged with fragile hope, but the observatory's shadows seemed to mock her. She glanced at Harry, his jaw tight, and nodded. "Take us here," she commanded, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. They swept through a hidden passage, her gown trailing like a wraith across the cold stone, Harry's steps heavy beside her. The carriage sped through Valorum's frost-eye #med streets, party flickering lanterns and shuttered stalls, the clatter of hooves echoing Meghan's racing thoughts. She recalled their early reign, Harry's reckless charm, their dream of a united Valorum, her vow to rise above her outsider status. But the scandals, each tied to the Starstone's peril, had woven a noose of doubt. The network's rejection, fueled by claims that has ever lacked heart, twisted her vision into a lie. The night veil loomed ahead, its weathered facade aglow with a spectral light. The air T hashtag hic wth frost and whispered secrets. Meghan pulled her attitude low, her steps swift as she navigated the tavern's smoky common room, ignoring the stares of patrons clutching their mulled wine. She see hashtag limbed th hashtag narrow stairs to the room named by the herald, her pulse a deafening roar. She pushed the door open without knocking. Harry stood by a small, flickering hearth, his auburn hair dusted hashtag with frost, his green eyes wide with a mix of relief and desperation. Beside him stood a figure cloacade in deep obsidian, their F hashtag ace obscured by a hood, their hands clutching a glowing, rune-etched scroll. The scene was charged, far from the treachery the hashtag Ert whispered, but Meghan's heart stung with the weight of another secret. Her voice sliced through the silence, sharp as a blade. Harry, you meet in shadows while the network brands me a failure hashtag. They claim as ever as a jest, and you're here with another stranger. The figure lowered their hood, revealing a face etched with wisdom and sorrow, their sapphire eyes glinting with quiet defiant hashtag CE. I am lies hashtag ARA, they said, their voice low and resonant, like a whisper through a stew RM. I am a lawkeeper of the veil, guardian of Valorum S hashtag forgotten truths. Prince Harry sought me to uncover the truth behind the network's betrayal. Hashtag RI stepped forward, his hands raised in hashtag supplication. Meghan, the network was swayed by the traitor we've hunted. They forged lies to discredit as ever, to break your spirit and seize the Starstone. Meghan's eyes blazed, her voice trembling with rage. Forged lies. The network casts me out, Jessica and Perry turn on me, and you claim it's a TRI-TOR. After my father's betrayal, Doria's words, and the Order's probe, how many more secrets, Harry? The network's rejection cut deep, her vision, her hope, now ashes. Her heart, battered by betrayal, ached with doubt. Had she hashtag judged her allies? Lysera raised the scroll, its light casting shadows across the room. This is a lawkeeper's scroll, they said. It unveils truths hidden by deceit. The network's rejection as orchestrated by a traitor within the royal council, using a spell to sway their verdict. Your as ever project threatened their plans for the Starstone. They produced a frost-rhymed tablet, its edges pulsing with sigils. This tablet, stolen from the traitor's lair, reveals their scheme, to use the network's rejection to hashtag stabilize Valorum, allowing them to seize the Starstone. The trait hashtag, or is closer than you know. Harry took Meghan's hand, his touch pleading. I should have told you, he said, his voice thick with regret. I sought Lysera to save you and our dream. The T hashtag Rightor wants us divided. Meghan pulled away, her heart torn between betrayal and duty. You've broken my trust, Harry, she said. But if Valorum is at stake, we face it together. Lysera's sapphire eyes gleamed with res hashtag Olv. The Starstone's crypt lies beneath the palace, guarded by traps only a royal can disarm. The traitor knows you're near the truth. We must act hashtag now. Meghan straightened, her coronet a reminder of her duty. The network's rejection, the court's scorn, her pain, they could wait. Valorum's survival hung in the balance. Lead on, she saw hashtag ID, her voice resolute. As they left the inn, the frost parted, revealing a moon that cast long, treacherous shadows. The traitor was out there, their identity still cloaked, but hashtag Meghan's resolve burned brighter than her pain. The Starstone,